First Lady Melania Trump denounced what she said are lies and false smears about her and Jeffrey Epstein, hosting an extraordinary press event Thursday where she said the two had no relationship and she did not know about his crimes. "I have never had any knowledge of Epstein's abuse of his victims," Trump said on April 9 adding that she wasn't friends with Epstein, and never flew on his private plane or visited his private island. Trump also said Epstein did not introduce her to her husband, President Donald Trump, and that she is not one of Epstein's victims. The bombshell statement was highly unusual for a First Lady who typically keeps a low profile and makes limited public appearances. Trump's senior advisor Mark Beckman said the First Lady spoke out now because enough is enough. The lies must stop. It is time for the public and media to focus on her incredible achievements as First Lady, Beckman added. The White House did not immediately respond to questions about whether the president knew the First Lady was going to make a statement. The out-of-the-blue public address is sure to bring renewed attention to a topic that has dogged the Trump administration for months, creating fractures within the GOP and causing Trump to lash out at his own supporters.
I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in detail in my book, Melania. The first time I crossed paths with Epstein was in the year 2000 at an event Donald and I attended together. At the time, I had never met Epstein and had no knowledge of his criminal undertakings. Numerous fake images and statements about Epstein and me have been circulating on social media for years now. Be cautious about what you believe. These images and stories are completely false. I'm not a witness or a named witness in connection with any of Epstein's crimes. My name has never appeared in court documents, depositions, victim statements, or FBI interviews surrounding the Epstein matter. I have never had any knowledge of Epstein's abuse of his victims. I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant, was never on Epstein's plane, and never visited his private island. I have never been legally accused or convinced of a crime in connection with Epstein's sex trafficking, abuse of minors, and other repulsive behavior. The false smears about me from mean-spirited and politically motivated individuals and entities looking to cause damage to my good name, to gain financially and climb politically, must stop. My attorneys and I have fought these unfounded and baseless lies with success and will continue to maintain my sound reputation without hesitation. To date, several individuals and companies have been legally obligated to publicly apologize and retract their lies about me, such as Daily Beast, James Carville, and HarperCollins, UK. Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone.
The First Lady called for more action from Congress on Epstein, who died by suicide in prison in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. Many women have come forward in recent years accusing Epstein, a registered sex offender, of trafficking them as children or young women. He pleaded guilty in 2008 to prostitution involving a minor. His associate Ghislaine Maxwell is serving a 20-year prison term for conspiring to transport minors for illicit sex. Trump also denied any relationship with Maxwell, Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes. Trump said. Congress passed legislation forcing the government to release its Epstein files. Government records on Epstein include mentions of Trump and her husband, and photos of them. Trump said lawmakers should hold a hearing allowing Epstein victims to testify under oath. Epstein was not alone, Trump said, hinting at other potential abusers. She noted that several prominent executives resigned over their relationships with Epstein. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, Trump said. But we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. Representative Robert Garcia, the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, said in a social media post that he agrees with the First Lady's call for a public hearing and requested that Chairman James Comer schedule one immediately.
Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.